Hello everyone, in this video we will explain how to connect Raspberry Pi RP2040 with W5100S module by writing Micropython scripts to achieve the effective TCP client communication. First, let's take a look at the table of contents of this chapter. It mainly divided into protocol introduction and introduction of WIZnet Ethernet chip with test demo. Chapter 1. Learn about TCP client. TCP client is a client of network protocol, typically used to establish reliable data connections between devices or applications. It establishes a connection with the remote server through the TCP IP protocol and sends request information. After the server receives the request information, it provides a service on the corresponding port and return a response. After TCP client parses the response information, it can process it accordingly. TCP client is usually used for data interaction between the device and the server. It is one of the most commonly used methods of network communication. It has the concept of connection and disconnection, thus ensuring reliable exchange of data. Now, let's have a brief look at the working steps of TCP during the three-way handshake. 1. The first handshake. The client sends a TCP packet with a SYN flag. It goes to the server and waits for confirmation from the server. 2. The second handshake. After receiving the SYN message, the server will send a message to the client, returns a TCP messages with SYN and ACK flags. At the same time, initialize a serial number for yourself and set the confirmation number to received. The sequence number of the client's SYN message is incremented by 1 and waits for the client's confirmation. 3. The third handshake. After the client receives the message with the SYN and ACK flags sent by the server, the confirmation number is set to the sequence number of the SYN message received from the server plus 1. Set your own serial number to the serial number of the SYN message received from the server plus 1. Enter established state. Completed three-way handshake. 4. After the connection has established, data can be exchanged in four-way termination. 1. Wait for the first time. The client sends a FIN message to the server. Turn off client-to-server data transfer. 2. Wave the second time. After the server receives the FIN message, send TCP message with ACK flag to client. The confirmation number is based on the sequence number of the FIN message received from the client plus 1. 3. Wait for the third time. The server sends a TCP message with the FIN flag to the client. Turn off server-to-client data transfer. 4. Wait for the fourth time. After the client receives the message with the FIN flag sent by the server, send TCP message with ACK flag to server. The confirmation number is based on the sequence number of the FIN message received from the server plus 1. The advantages of TCP client include reliable connection, sequentiality, data flow control, congestion control, safety, and used in wide range of applications. The application scenarios of TCP client include telecommunication, database connectivity, cloud service, real-time trading system, game development and remote control. Chapter 2. WIZnet Ethernet chips. W5100S, W5500 and W6100 are the three mainstream Ethernet chips. From the table we found that 1. W5100S and W6100 support 8-bit data bus interface. Network transmission speed is better than W5500. 2. W6100 supports IPv6 and it is hardware compatible with W5100S. If users who already use W5100S need to support IPv6, they can easily upgrade to W6100. 3. W5500 has more sockets than W5100S, with larger send and receive buffers. Advantages of WIZnet Ethernet chip. WIZnet's Ethernet chip uses hardware protocol stack. Not only can it improve the efficiency of data transmission, it also reduces the workload of the MCU to allow low-end MCUs to be connected to Ethernet. Chapter 3. Simple demonstrations. Let's take a brief look at the flowchart first. First, initialize the SPI-related pins. Then set the network settings to dynamic IP acquisition mode. After that, determine whether the IP has successfully obtained. If obtained, print the obtained IP information. If dynamic IP cannot be obtained, use static IP. Then connect to the remote server. After the connection is successful, perform a data loopback test. In terms of software, we need Tiny Code Editor, WIZnet Your Tool Serial Port Debugging Tool, and Socket Tester Network Debugging Tool. For hardware, We need W5100S I/O module and Raspberry Pi Pico development board. Or we can directly use WIZnet's W5100S EVB Pico development board. In addition, we need to connect micro USB interface data cable and network cable to the RJ45 of the board. For UART and SPI settings, please refer to the table above. Next, take a look at the code part. We directly open the TCP_client.py file. First, you can see that the SPI and serial port are initialized in the W500_init function, as well as registering SPI-related pins and reset pins into the library. The next step is to activate the network and use DHCP to configure network address information. Configure static network address information when DHCP fails. When the configuration is not successful, the information about the network address-related registers will be printed out. It will be better on troubleshooting problems. Finally, we will perform the operation of connecting to the remote server. When connecting to the server, you can perform a loopback test of the data. Directly open the Socket Tester Network Debugging tool to set up the server and run the program. Open the WIZnet UART tool Serial Port Debugging tool. From the Network Debugging tool, send a message to the development board. You can see that a loopback message has been received. Messages sent by the server also appear on the Serial Port Debugging tool. Indicates that the TCP client test is successful. This video ends here. Thank you everyone for watching. If you want to know more, please leave a message in the comment area or contact me via private message.